accept that as a human being and as a leader. Not everybody's going to do what you want them to do. Not everybody's going to be committed the way you want them to be committed, right? And it's not like Kay is asking me for this, but it's like I asked for this commitment before I committed to Brooklyn from him, which was a beautiful thing. I'm like, yo, let's commit to this thing. We could build up Brooklyn. We could really put Brooklyn on the map. Nobody's really thinking about Brooklyn. But when he said that, I'm like, bro, Steve wasn't even in the play yet. But this is your man's. This is your man. So I gotta support that. This is your man's. Cool. You want him? Cool.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy AJ. I'm here with Rage and Cypher. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Nets Kingdom 1. All our Twitters are scrolling at the bottom. So today's gonna be the throwback of the toxic era, 7-Eleven Nets era. So Kyrie went on stream. Now he's a Twitch streamer all of a sudden, and he talked about. Well, he actually reacted to KD's pod on Mind the Game podcast and Steve Nash about them, what happened, what really happened in Brooklyn. So the first kind of thing I want to talk about what Kyrie said here was about the Nets front office. Now, he says he didn't meet with the Nets front office at all before signing with them. This is the exact quote. I wish we got the chance to know them beforehand because Brooklyn wasn't effing with me like that. The Nets didn't want me like that. They wanted Kevin Durant. So what were your guys' thoughts on Kyrie saying that he didn't meet with the Nets front office? I know like Nets Twitter thinks Sean did his thing, and at the time we thought Sean was doing his thing. We were like, yeah, Sean, you got him. But he didn't really talk to Kyrie. So what do you think about that, Cypher Rage, whoever wants to?
I think we kind of, I think we kind of knew with everything that it was all kind of Katie and Kyrie just wanting to be on the same team and like literally just, and it just kind of being that, DeAndre Jordan was on the train too. And although it's like, yeah, you could have the points where it's like, we were obviously an enticing franchise to go to. We had the market and we had, the stuff going for us, which made him want to come here. But, we all kind of knew what it was. But, Kyrie, it was kind of funny how Kyrie literally, just came off just with, throwing hammers, yo.
Yeah, it was. Go ahead, Cypher. Yeah.
Okay, first off, I don't really buy this. Well, it's like, oh, well, we didn't meet him at all. What do you mean? Like, so your agent did all the talking, and they just like, oh, hey, we'll give you a max, and the agent's like, hey, Brooklyn will give you a max. Maybe Kyrie. I think Kyrie's like heavily over exaggerating. I think they did obviously meet. Like they met, they had a meeting. I just think Kyrie didn't ask enough questions about like the future of the team or how they viewed him. Okay, I agree with him when he says they wanted KD like more than him. Like I agree with that. I think he's 100% correct. Like Durant's the superstar. He was like a top 5 player in the NBA at the time.
Yeah.
Top 15 player all the time, elite scorer. Like, yeah, of course they wanted Kevin Durant, but they gave you max money. Like they gave you max money. You were clearly a part of like some of these decisions. Like, and we'll talk about the coaching stuff later, but like DeAndre Jordan, like they made space for DeAndre Jordan for you guys. And I think the idea that it was all KD and like you don't want to take any of the responsibility for it. I don't believe in that. Like I don't buy that at all. And look, I don't think we're ever gonna get like I don't think Durant's ever gonna respond to it. I don't think Nash will ever respond to it. I don't think Marks or anyone in the Nets is gonna respond to it. But look, I don't take what Kyrie says. Like I think some of the things he says referring to himself is correct. But no, this idea that he was this like rogue on the team and he just happened to like show up and it's like, oh, everyone around him made all the decisions. No, that's ridiculous. Like
there was definitely nothing going on. Like
he just magically appeared to the Nets. Like Shaw didn't call. Like you obviously were on the phone. You have to sign something. You have to meet somebody.
Yeah.
You have to meet somebody to sign on that dotted line, bro. It's like you had to speak to Sean, bro.
Yeah. Like the one thing I might agree with him is that he didn't ask enough questions like at the time. Like I think that's fair. But no, I don't buy this whole like you didn't even meet with the Nets. No, I don't buy that.
Yeah, the only thing I like could consider is like the Nets didn't really talk to you as much as they talked to KD. I think that's probably what it was in the beginning. Like Sean was like, yeah, KD, this and this and this and this. Oh, okay, Kyrie's coming too. Okay, we can talk to him. And then I think Kyrie got some calls, but it wasn't no like in depth, personal calls with him and Sean. It was more KD leading the charge and Kyrie.
Yeah, and I think it was a lot. I think it was funny too. Like, Kyrie was just trying to act like, he didn't have anything to do with anything. The problem is that you were coming to the Nets. You were coming here with KD. Yeah. That's why nothing was said, because you were coming with KD.
Yeah, exactly. So, we'll see. We'll take that with a grain of salt, but I'm not surprised, but we'll see. All right, the next one, Kyrie Irving asked the Brooklyn Nets to release him when they suspended him for not getting the COVID vaccine.
People that I was in business with were pro-vaccine, and I'm like, okay, look, that's fine, but just leave me the fuck out of this and let me go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I even told the Nets to release me. I said, yo, can you please just release me so I can, obviously the money situation, different situation. I'm fucking Kyrie. So it's like, it's just, I say that very, very like aware of my position, but they weren't just going to let me rock out, just go anywhere.
So this one was, I think, pretty believable. I think Kyrie was very, very upset. And I remember, like, now this is like flashback. You could go back on Nets Kingdom and type this in on YouTube. We have like full out streams of the reacting to Kyrie's COVID situations and everything going on at that time. But I remember myself, I was very upset that they suspended him. I disagreed with it. I think at least you could do was play him at the away games. And I was very shocked that they didn't.
That's something that we got to like make clear for like other people, because there was some confusion about this.
Yes.
So, okay. This was back in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
This was in 2022 after the whole documentary stuff. Like, now, this was like this was a year before that. So this was after they lost to the Bucks in the second round, where there was this the city mandate. New York City employees were not allowed to like come in and work, arenas, offices, whatever, because they need to be vaccinated. There was a vaccine mandate. And I saw some people saying, oh, it was a state thing, a city thing, not a Nets thing. And I'm like, yeah, which is correct. That's why he couldn't play home games. But what a lot of people are forgetting is that he was banned from road games by the Nets. Like, Kyrie was eligible for road games, but the Nets were like, we don't want you to play.
Yeah, which made no sense to me.
Yeah, because they wanted to shame him into getting the vaccine, which he never was.
Yes. But we let him come back, though.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I'm so happy, Cypher, you set up the timeline and set up the story like that, because people don't understand, like, this man could have played. Like, you're taking away our best player. Well, one of our best players.
Second to third best player.
Right. And you're not letting him play on the road, leaving KD isolated, alone. So it's and Harden alone. So it's like, what are we doing at this point? And I could see why Kyrie was frustrated, and to be asking to be released, that's very heavy. I didn't think it went that far, but
I'll say this now, and look, none of us knew that fact at the time. Mm-hmm. Like, I believe Kyrie on that, because I don't think he'd lie about it. It seems like something he would do.
Yeah.
But look, that mistake the Nets made, suspending him from road games, like that was the beginning of the end. The relationship was so damaged at that point that, okay, now it would affect contract negotiations. It would affect like his loyalty to the team. We already know like the Nets weren't like super like deep into Kyrie. So now it's like, okay. And by the way, that matters because KD's allegiance to the Nets was dependent on him having a co-star like Kyrie. Because Harden would ask out later. And by the way, we'll get into the Harden stuff too. But to me, it's like, okay, Kyrie was never going to be waived. He was never going to be released. Like, they were never going to waive $40 million or $35 million on the books for 2 years. So I think Kyrie was being like ridiculous in that regard. But it's like, okay, what, and look, we just did the Cam Thomas video. It's like, okay, what do the Nets expect to happen? It's like, okay, you made it clear that you don't like this player. So your strategy was like, hey, let's just hold on to the guy, piss him off even more, and destroy his value. Because if the Nets, and look, I would have understood it at the time, and if I knew this at the time, I would have said this. But if Kyrie said, I want to be released, I would have found a trade partner while his value was still high, and I would have gotten picks. I would have gotten players to build around Harden and KD. I would have done that, because what happened, because they didn't, it led to a domino effect of bad decisions that completely destroyed the Nets.
And that's the frustrating part about this, because it's like we don't know what really happened behind the scenes, because it was like maybe Kyrie was trying to get out. Then KD was like, "Nah, don't do it." Because I think they didn't want to upset KD and like that, because KD was they were worshiping KD, so I don't think they want to upset KD to a certain level. But it's like, if you're a business guy, if you're the front office, you got to put front office first and do what needs to be done. Like Cypher's saying, like if you really thought you could probably get extremely high value for Kyrie at that time, you could have moved him and get another piece that would help Harden and KD. And if that piece was elite, I know KD would probably be upset, but it's like, if you give him something that's really, really, really good that helps us win, I don't know if he'd be that upset about it. But yeah, so that this Kyrie talk is getting this is bringing back the memories, bro. All right, so last thing here, so Kyrie with Steve Nash. So we saw that KD went on Mind the Game podcast and was talking about, he basically kind of caped for Steve. I'm not gonna lie, he caped for him. It was kind of nasty. He was just like, "Whoa, you didn't have enough time, this and this and that," but he didn't really go into depth about why he thought Steve should be fired. He basically just kind of danced around the topic. If you watch
Dude,
that
I
pod.
hated that. Okay, I hated what Kyrie said, but I hated that Mind of the Game podcast because like they didn't say anything.
Yeah, he did it. It gave me nothing. It was just like they just danced around.
No, it was just they were just like there was a lot of stuff going on. There was this and that. It was like, yeah, we like tell us something we didn't already know. Like,
yeah, it's like tell us what we did though. Yes, we knew COVID was happening. Yes, we knew trades were happening. Guys were asking out, requesting trades. Like we knew all that shit was happening. But tell us the general reason, and he didn't do that. So Kyrie went on, his Twitch stream, and he basically confirmed like Kevin Durant wanted Steve Nash to be the Brooklyn Nets head coach. He basically accused all that blame on KD for hiring Nash. He was like, "What did he say?" He was like, "This is your guy." Man.
He said that's your man.
He wasn't even in the play yet, but this is your man's. This is your man, so I gotta support that. This is your man's. Cool. You want him?
Your man's that did this. He basically was like, "KD, you the guy that did this shit."
He singled KD out. He definitely did.
Yeah, pertaining to Steve Nash. So,
which to me, that was the thing I hated the most, because he lied. Like Kyrie lied. Like I could pretty confidently say Kyrie lied, and a lot of people on Twitter were like eating that up as like fact, because again, I don't know why we're treating Kyrie like he's the Messiah and he's like telling the truth and he's this beacon of like wisdom now, because the way he operated during that stream, it's like he took no accountability for himself. So look, we have reports, and AJ, you can put up the screenshots up, but Nets Daily posted an article like 5 years ago, and this article wasn't speculation. It was like direct quotes from both Nash and Sean Marks saying that, dude, Nash approached them about the job, and Sean Marks had been talking to Nash for like the last 10 years, 20 years about like Nash potentially having like a job as a coach. Like this has been like something that they discussed for a very long time. And like Marks confirmed it, Nash confirmed it, Nets Daily, even when all this stuff came out, confirmed it and said Sean Marks was why Nash got hired. Like they were former teammates on Phoenix. And Kyrie essentially lying and trying to scapegoat KD for that. Like obviously KD like agreed to it. Like he agreed to the hiring because Marks asked, and like he gave the blessing. Obviously Kyrie also gave his blessing, and I think he's trying to back out of it because of how badly that went. But no, it's like, no, it wasn't just a KD thing where KD was like, I want Nash, and Marks was like, nah, I don't want to hire. No, it was a group decision. Like all these guys wanted Steve Nash, and none of these guys want to take the accountability for that hiring. So no, I think that's ridiculous. Like that was like a bitch move by Kyrie, in my opinion.
I'd definitely be looking at Kai a little bit funny if I was KD, bro. That was crazy. He went off on stream.
Yeah, it's
KD is spineless. Like, dude, your teammate just called you out like this, and you don't have the guts to say anything bad about him.
What's funny is that he quote tweeted when Kyrie. Remember when Kyrie said, "Like I'm going to respond to this on Twitter." KD quote tweeted and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to have my Twitch noties on." But then after that, you didn't say nothing after. Like when Kyrie went and did all his thing, where were your quote tweets after that? Where were your responses after that? Nothing. Ghost. Gone. You know what I'm saying? And with like I said, with the Nash thing, it's like so many people on Nets Twitter are doing these victory lap tweets and all these, but it's like gotcha moments and all that. And I'm like, me personally, it's like I'm moved on. I don't really care about this no more. But with Steve Nash, it's like two things could be true. We know Sean Marks wanted Steve Nash to be the head coach. Did KD want him to be the head coach? Possibly, yeah. Two things could be true. It doesn't mean one or the other is not true. You know what I'm saying? KD would have obviously KD has to co-sign because he was the main guy. He was the best player. He was the guy, you know, that they had to, you know, please and cape to. So it's like they're gonna run it by KD, and KD already had a relationship with Nash in Golden State. That was his player development coach. So we knew.
And with Kyrie, like even if he didn't like the hiring, it's like, dude, they're not gonna hire the coach based off of what you want.
Yeah, and the thing I disagree with Kyrie with is like, fam, like at the time you could have went to KD as a man and be like, yo, I don't think Steve is the right coach for us, bro. Like he has a coach before, but no, you was on your hippie hey gosh shit and was like, we don't need a coach. We are the new modern this and this and this. We don't need a coach. Like you could have just went to KD and be like, yo, I think there's a better option. We can, you know, talk to him face to man, and be like, yo, I don't think this is the guy. I think KD would have responded to that. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't say nothing. You were just like, yeah, go ahead, K. You got it. It's your man's. Yeah.
That's Kai was trying to act like he wasn't chilling with everything. Like Kai was chilling. Shit went sour with how he was feeling about things, and how obviously the team was going about things, and it just didn't work out. Like, it's just the problem with everything with all of this is that it's just everything we already knew, and that it really didn't show us anything as Nets fans. It's just zero accountability from everybody. Like, it was just really a bunch of nothing. And Kyrie, you know.
Durant doesn't want to take accountability. Nash doesn't want to take accountability. Kyrie doesn't want to take accountability. Marks probably doesn't want to take accountability.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Harden. And by the way, one more topic is that we didn't mention is that Kyrie told Harden, "Hey, we're going to win a championship," and then the next day he asked out, and he's like, Kyrie said, "Oh, I was shocked by that."
Wow, I didn't hear that part. He said he asked out the next day.
Yeah.
Yo, that is so crazy.
By the way, I believe in that. Because that basically confirms what everyone knew, that Harden was pissed off by the whole Kyrie situation and saw like the instability. And it's like, okay, so that's another thing that was Kyrie's fault that we already kind of knew, just nobody wanted to say it. And it's like, okay, if I'm the front office, you just invested so many assets for James Harden. So it's like, dude, figure out this Kyrie stuff sooner. Like, either trade him then and there and get assets for him, or let him play road games and figure it out.
Yeah, that was just, and it made it clear because like we know Harden was mad about the vaccine, and then I think behind the scenes Harden saw this disgusting toxic relationship between Kyrie, Josiah, and Sean. Like it was not good. Like everybody, you didn't even have to be behind the scenes to know like how toxic it was going on. Like KD wasn't answering phone calls during the summer. He didn't speak to Sean. He demanded him to get fired. KD's requesting trades. Everybody it was just so much drama. I think Harden was like, yeah, I'm out of here. Now you're suspending Kyrie for a vaccine. Yeah, I'm out of here. Like this is too much for me. I think was very clear with that. So yeah, let us know in the comments how you guys feel about this Kyrie situation, and what do you think his thoughts were? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you taking these statements with a grain of salt? Are you really diving into these? Are you taking your victory laps on Twitter? Let us know in the comments how you feel about Kyrie on Twitch. Appreciate you guys so much. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Nets Kingdom 1 on Instagram and Twitter. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back.